Welcome back. Last night we brought you the news that a Roland Story Community School District board member resigned, citing the handling of an assault case against a champion high school wrestler there. Elias Johnson joins us now to talk about his conversation just a little over an hour ago with this board member. First, let's just start with the concerns that she has that go even beyond this specific case with Cade Bloom.
Jasmine Getters has been with the school board for 3 years. And when I went to the first board meeting that surrounded this case with Cade Bloom, the wrestler, it was moved to the library from the normal boardroom to accommodate all the parents that wanted to come listen and then also speak. Jasmine Getters was the sole board member that actually acknowledged some of the things that were being said. There were several stories from parents about how their kids were being bullied, spit on, picked on, and she acknowledged, we're listening to you, we understand we need to have conversations, we can't make any decisions here tonight, but we're going to collectively have a discussion as a board and get back to you. Today when I sat down with her, I asked her point blank, how many conversations have you had since you acknowledged that you're hearing these parents? And she said she wasn't able to get anywhere collectively as a board and with the board president and with the superintendent to talk about any potential policy changes or how to address some of these concerns. That combined with what happened over the weekend with Cade Bloom was the reason behind her stepping down last night.
For people who don't know, tell people what happened over the weekend with him. He's still on the wrestling team.
Yeah. Last time we were at the board meeting, we were told Cade Bloom is not at school. He's not participating in the wrestling room. I spoke to a wrestler, said he hasn't been seen at school. Most people assumed he was serving some sort of suspension for violating code of conduct as a student athlete. This past weekend on their Roland Story Wrestling Facebook page, they were posting pictures of wrestlers who won. Cade Bloom was one of them. That post stayed up for a period of time, and then it was edited. His picture was taken down, no mention of him whatsoever, as people started asking questions. When did he get back into the wrestling program? When did he go back to school? When was he allowed to go in? Because this was a felony assault. I mean, this is a very serious crime that happened.
And one to which he has since pled guilty.
Yes, and it's moving to juvenile court, which is something they wanted. He was 16 at the time, but it constituted adult because if you are 16 and it's with the intent to commit assault, it's viewed as an adult charge. It's been moved back to juvenile court. So there's two separate things. There's the school punishment, code of conduct violation, and then there's the court proceedings, two separate things. The school stance was this happened off school grounds. It didn't happen in any of our facilities. It happened outside of school. Therefore, the law enforcement is handling their case. We're doing what we can with the code of conduct. Based on the code of conduct, Jasmine Getters told me she was informed after learning he's competing again in wrestling and at school. His punishment was to serve 20% suspension from his current athletic season. And based upon the time that he's been out, he has fulfilled that. So now he's back and regular student athlete.
It seems to me that she's, the school board member, Jasmine Getters, is really concerned about an overall culture that exists at this school district.
That's correct. She cited for years it's been difficult to collectively come together and make decisions. And really, she made a point to say, listen to parents' concerns. I saw that when we went to that board meeting. It was tough to listen to some of these parents talk about the struggles they're having with their kids. And Jasmine pointed out several times that oftentimes they're learning about these instances after the fact or from a parent, not from school administrative leadership, which she says is a big problem. She cited the superintendent, board president, and the athletic director. Those are the three people making a lot of the decisions. Now, it's not up to the school board to hand down discipline, but it's up to them to shape policy and to not be able to have discussions about examining current policy, student code of conduct, how to handle certain things is very, very difficult for her, because if you can't have those conversations about reshaping policy, then how can you address something that happens like the Cade Bloom case, where something very serious happens and it's treated as if it was a minor infraction, so
Right.
to speak.
And it certainly was not minor. We've read the court documents. Quickly, we need to wrap up, but I know you've been in contact with the victim's mother, and the really sad thing is that this kid and his family have moved
Yep.
because of this.
Yep, they've completely relocated in a different school system now. She wants to talk about what this effect had on her, seeing Cade back wrestling again, you know, back on top of the podium, the champion wrestler again.
Yeah.
It's really tough for them. It's kind of almost re-victimizing them and making them feel like they've been forgotten.
Okay. More to come tonight at 5, 6, and 10 from Elias on this story. We'll be right back.